This like helps Zoom hear you.
Do you have the password for the Cooper River room?
Please. Hold on, let me try to do it without disconnecting.
Is it written down somewhere I might be able to go
The
look?
front desk guy usually knows.
I'll go get that.
Yeah, because it's not letting me pull it up.
Do is like click it if you don't.
I'm just getting the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Is it unmuted now, Holly? Okay. Right.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Holly, just for the, yeah. They can hear you.
I haven't gotten a confirmation, but it looks like nobody's at their desk right now.
Can you guys hear me? Out in Zoom land?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Cool, thank you, Kim.
It's Palmetto. It's Palmetto for anyone who needs to know. Thank you.
Oh, it's Palmetto?
That's what she told me.
Oh, that's different from what I knew it to be. I thought it
Well,
was
whatever
like
Kristen did,
Sweetgrass.
I connected, so.
I have to figure out how to use this.
Just the error. There you
Do you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
You good? Is Zoom land good?
Zoomlander.
Zoomland is good.
Zoomlander, that's what I was thinking. Last question, is there a microwave in that kitchen you could use?
Probably.
Oh, she
You don't
answered.
ask, you don't.
She answered.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm quiet though.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I am Carly Ringer. I think I've met almost all of you. I am from the Jersey Shore, and I have been in the business for about 7 years, and I've been traveling around teaching class, mainly because it's a tax write-off when you go traveling. I came here to visit my friend, and I called the market center, and I said, can I teach this class? And I have experience teaching it. I've taught it to hundreds of people, but this is a great way for you to travel and get referral business, and also your accountant loves it. And I'm from Jersey, so I'm overly honest about everything. I said to my friends on Facebook, I was like, I hope my Jersey doesn't come out too much today.
People from Jersey here.
Okay, so you're used to us. I was like, would I offend I asked my friend, I was like, would I offend somebody by saying X, Y, and Z today? And she goes, just be your authentic self.
Yeah.
I'm Southern with a Jersey disposition.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so a little background about me. My background is analytics, pricing specifically, and marketing. I worked in corporate America for 13 years. I don't recommend it, but I did. But I did learn a ton because I did pricing, I did marketing, I did client service. I always had clients that I was providing my analytics to. My real estate experience, I am an actual realtor. I do about 14 million a year. When I first started real estate, I didn't tell anybody I was a realtor. I was embarrassed. I actually just talked to my friend about this last night. She pushed me to do it because I always thought of realtors as being like super cutthroat and just, and again, this could be because it's New Jersey, but like super cutthroat and you couldn't trust them. So I didn't tell anybody in the beginning, and for like 6 months. And then I posted on Facebook about it and everybody's like, oh my God, this is so perfect for you. So it gave me encouragement. I do about 45 deals a year. That's okay, come on. I had an admin, but she resigned, which is sad. But she went to corporate America, so she'll probably be back. Oh, so those were the stats to bore you. Okay, can we just go around the room? I would love to hear who you guys are, how long you've been in business, and something funny about you, I guess. I don't know, just
I'm Lynn.
tell a funny joke, whatever you want.
Funny joke is my business. No, I have been in business 15 years. I don't really have anything funny right now, but thank you for being here. But I am taking on a new role on our team of being a little bit more like director of operations and then like instructing Joseph what to do. So I'm coming to some of the things that I never would have attended because I've always been just the buyer's agent. So now I'm learning some of that listing side in this market to hone my skills.
I'm gonna bring the microphone over to you so everybody can hear you.
I'm through. No one needs to hear me.
Here,
They
I
know all
moved
about
around
me.
so that way, if you guys don't mind, just here, that's the Zoom room.
Okay. I'm Kristen. I've been in business a little under 2 years. Just had my 1-year anniversary with Keller. And that's about it.
Cool.
Can't think of anything funny at the moment.
I was just throwing something out there.
Sorry I'm late.
I'm Patty Stover, and I got into real estate as an investor in 2004, and homeschooled the kids, all that kind of stuff. And then when I had more free time, I decided to get my license in real estate, and that was 2014. So, I really didn't start till 2015, so I've been doing real estate about 8 years. And been with Keller Williams going on 3.
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Sarah Waycaster, and I have been in real estate since 2016. And I've been with Keller Williams ever since, different market center, but can't think of anything better.
I have a better question.
Yes,
How do you get most of your business?
how do I get most of
That would be
business?
apropos to the class. Yeah, I should have asked.
Open houses.
Oh, awesome. Okay. We're just saying hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sonia Buncombe, and I've been in real estate since 2006.
Wow.
Okay, I started out and it was just a miracle story how I came into real estate, but my husband was the culprit behind it. That was one of the best things that he ever did. I started out with Prudential at the time, that later became Carolina One Real Estate, and through the process, I was even with Keller Williams when the market kind of crashed and shifted, and we closed the North Charleston office. And from there, I went into a few others, and I was with High Garden Real Estate, happy, but where I was, it was extremely refreshing for me. However, there was a greater opportunity. My husband just, he retired some years ago, and then he went into trucking. He's like, well, you just keep going, and I can't seem to get the training I need. So he came back and came to Keller Williams, stepped out, and then came back. So here we are. I just think it's just amazing to be a part of the Keller Williams family again. And I'm telling you, it's moving and shaking time. So where does this need to go?
And what I notice is everybody always comes back home, right? Like they'll try DXP or Compass or whatever the new shiny
They'll come back.
thing is. We'll see you guys later.
My name is Sarah. I have been in real estate 3 years. This is my 3rd year currently. I've been with Keller Williams for 4 months, so still new. Love it. And right now I'm predominantly getting a lot of my leads through past clients or online leads. I'm definitely looking to switch and learn and grow more about Sphere. And yeah, just excited to be with Keller Williams. It's been a really great shift.
The trainings are amazing. And the support and the culture is really everything.
Hello, this is Devin Kale. I have been in real estate for going into my second year. And I've been with Keller Williams since day one. Keller Williams, they stand for, I get most of my business from my database, referrals, and open houses.
My name is Hannah Ewing. I just moved to work with Woody Rogers as of June of last year. I used to be a high school English teacher. That's my little fun thing.
Great, if anything's wrong in my presentation, I'm a stickler for grammar.
really hard not to do that.
No, I truly would love, I get embarrassed. Please.
And I just started my real estate.
Oh, awesome.
So.
Very good.
Yay.
I'm joining you.
I would love to know about it. You're a human too, you know.
I'm Kristen Tate, and I have been with KW for almost 5 years, Director of Agent Services between the offices, and born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. So, Holly.
Yeah.
One more person.
Hello. Hi, I'm Holly. I am the Agent Services Coordinator for the West Ashley office. I'm also in charge of the real estate school students who are in our program. So, Hannah, I'm going to be checking in on you this week. And I've been with Keller Williams for almost a year in June. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you. All right.
So
I created a new tagline. I'll tell you guys what I do on Facebook in a little bit, but I created a new tagline for myself, your local resource and realtor, because I think it's so important to be a resource for your network. So I put that up here, and then that's me. It's kind of hard to see, but that was me as a little girl, really a little girl. I'll tell you guys about that in a little bit. So I'm going to go through the agenda. We're going to talk about social media for a little bit and how to use it to your best advantage. I had made a lot of mistakes in the beginning of social media, and I would love to teach other people what not to do, essentially. And then how to work your sphere or your circle of influence. People call it different things. I still call it a circle. I know a lot of people call it an SOI. And then how do you, and it sounds like some of you are doing that already, which is awesome. And then how do you expand out? How do you create a bigger sphere? Okay, so we're going to start with, my housekeeping tips. I don't know if you guys do this in your market center. We do this. If your phone rings during class, you will be asked to donate $50 to KW Cares. So that is a way to get everybody to turn off their phone. I have ADD, so I need to stay focused. And I just ask for one conversation. If things start to go all over, I'll lose focus. Take lots of notes, ask questions, and at the end, if you could provide a review, that would be helpful. All right, so let's get into social media. We are going to talk about engaging your network. We're going to do an experiment. We're going to remind people that you're a realtor. We're going to celebrate your wins, educate, and make sure that you're relatable. Okay. So the first thing, and this is what I wasn't sure if I should share in this out, just stop annoying your network. Okay. I felt like that was super juicy of me. But stop annoying your network. Do you guys have friends who sell Rodin and Fields, It Works, Beachbody, Isogenics, all of that stuff? They're very annoying on social media, right? And I say this because I used to be that person. I sold Rodin and Fields. I still use it.
Hey, it's a great product.
It's a great product. My skin's so fabulous. But I used to annoy the crap out of my friends, and because I was always posting before and after pictures and buy this product, join my team, which would equate to recruiting in this company. Hi, welcome. So I was at a bar once, and two of my guy friends literally pushed me aside, and they were like, "We're having a friend intervention. Stop posting about your business on Facebook. We're not joining your team. We're not buying your products." And I was like, "Oh, I have to take a different approach." Right? So I'm going to go through with you guys what the approach is. You don't want to, or you shouldn't, post a photo of a house that you sold that says, "Look at me, I sold a house," right? Because I say the only people that care are your parents and other realtors. And you'll have like a few cheerleaders here or there, but you want to make posts that are engaging your network so that they're more, if it's not a look at me, it's more of how can I benefit you, the person who's reading this post, right? Come from contribution. That's the whole KW way. So we're going to engage our network by asking for advice, and this is going to be our experiment. You always want to respond to comments, and you want to contact people via Messenger, because if you just post on social media and you put a post and people are commenting, are you guys familiar with algorithms? It's like the back end. So they're back end formulas for Facebook, and the algorithms decide who sees what. Okay, so Facebook says, Joe wants to see Carly's posts, so Joe sees them, but Sarah doesn't. And Facebook really decides all of this. When you do these steps, then the algorithms, they sort of start working, for lack of better words, and then you start showing up on more people's news feeds. Okay, so this is an example that I have here. I don't know if I can move this, but I can. I like to tell stories. I like to tell stories that are real estate related, so people remember that I'm a realtor, but it's not saying, look at me, I'm a realtor, right? So this is a story about, this is super cool. I met an Afghani couple a few weeks ago at an open house, and then I brought them to see another house, and they brought their parents. So if you can imagine, they're in their full traditional outfits. And they were joking about, or I'm sorry, I was joking about wanting to try their food. I was like, the next time you come, can you bring me some of your traditional food? I've never had it. And as we were leaving, the husband gets out of the car and he says, Carly, do you want to just come over for dinner tonight? So this is the whole story about me sitting on their floor eating, and they're eating with their hands. And they gave me 2 oranges and it was a peach or, 2 oranges and a peach. They wouldn't let me leave the house without it, right? So I'm telling this story. I have 160 people liked the story. I had 79 comments. I was talking about this experience, but also reminding people that I was a realtor, right? So in these comments, the 79 comments are not all my network. It was me responding to them. So when I responded to a comment, it would show up on more people's news feeds because Facebook recognized that this was something interesting. And I always like to post some kind of like bright photo or colorful or like funny. Okay, so connecting with people via messenger through here when somebody, if somebody says, oh, I love Afghani food, and I would comment on in their comment section, and then I would send them a separate post or a separate message, because then we can have an offline conversation and have a deeper conversation versus just like the one-to-one conversation, right? So our business is about relationships. This helps to build a relationship. Okay, so we're gonna do an experiment. If everybody, are you all on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn? Okay, grab your phones out, but come back to me. You wanna find somebody who's a sharer, meaning they love to share information, right? So when somebody posts, who's your dermatologist? That person's always the first person to come on, or where's your favorite chicken parm sandwich? They're the first person to comment, right? So I just want you to go on Facebook and ask an open-ended question, like who's your dermatologist, or what do you, where's the best place to get corned beef on St. Patrick's Day?
I did that yesterday with my personal page.
Yeah.
And 2 other groups asking, do you own a small business? What is your small business? And that's all I said. And I've had so many comments. And so I like to like, yeah. So I'm gonna create a
So create.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, so create an open-ended question, not a yes or no, because you want people to comment, right? The people that are commenting, and then after the class, go in and respond to those people. And you'll see as the day goes on, more people will be looking at it later in the day too, because again, Facebook is seeing that this is interesting to people. These are the people that are gonna put your name out there when somebody asks for a realtor. So these are really important people to you, right? After you do this, connect with them off of Facebook, whether it's via Messenger or text message, whatever it is, these are your people.
Do you recommend doing it on business or personal page?
No, everything I do is on my personal page.
Okay. I like
And
that.
I'll go through that.
Okay.
Oh, I think I just disconnected everybody. Can everybody online hear me? Can you guys online still hear me? Whoops. I thought this was a key on my background. You're all good? Kim is the best. Thanks, Kim. See, Kim's a sharer.
Kim is the sharer.
Right? Okay. Skipping ahead, we want to remind people that you're in real estate, but you don't want to do it as a look at me. So find a funny post. I know it's a little hard for you in person to see, but this is, there was a water leak and this is ice coming down through the kitchen. Yeah. Okay, and I said, let's test everybody's sales skills. Imagine this, you're a real estate agent. You walk into a house with a buyer, you see this, what do you say? I had 176 comments on this. And everybody asked how many people I am friends with on Facebook. At this point, it was like 3,000. Even if it was 5,000, I think 176. This is one of my best posts. I had people share it as well, or 2 people share it. But this is me subtly reminding somebody that I'm a realtor in a funny way that's engaging them. Okay. This is another funny way to remind people that you're a realtor. I did this in Canva. This is Bernie sitting, the mittens thing. I pulled a picture off of Canva and I just wrote Do you guys know Canva?
Yeah.
It's the best thing in the world. Does anybody not know Canva?
I don't.
So it's like the word canvas, leave off the last S for students. And it's a free marketing website. Command has some of the same templates, but this has so many more templates. And then this entire presentation was made in Canva. It's really fantastic.
Look, I even found like a little bird in Canva, which is.
But anyway, so this slide is all about being relevant. Bernie's going to be relevant forever. Chris Christie sitting in a lawn chair at the beach is going to be relevant forever. Do you guys know who that is? Tell you later. Anyway, you want to, if something happens in the news, you want to post about it that day. If you wait a few days, it's not relevant. It looks like you're trying really hard. You want to be one of the first people to do it. Otherwise, just don't do it at all. Okay? You also want to be relatable, because when people want to work with people like them, right? If you go into a furniture store and somebody just jumps on top of you and goes, "Can I help you? What, do you want to buy this couch, this couch," versus somebody else coming over to you and learning a little about you, and you seem to have a genuine connection, you're going to want to work with that person more. The way to do that is to become relatable. So this is a post about me. I was one of the top agents in my office for the year in 2020. I wanted to get that out there, and things like this are okay. These are called milestones when something really big happens. Like if you win an award or you have your first $1 million deal, those are okay for you to say, "Look at me." Do them intermittently, don't do them a lot. But this one, I was talking about 2020 and how and not everybody's comfortable being as out there as I am, but I was talking about in 2020, I was single and I was depressed because all I was doing was working. And so I'll just read it to you. To be completely honest, it gets lonely and quite frankly, boring during a pandemic when you don't have people around you at home. I'm used to hanging out with friends, so I threw myself into my business. I have another business. I threw myself into 2 businesses. I had 100, there are over 100 comments on that, and I think it was like 200 something, 212, 13 likes on this one, because I was relatable. First of all, there were people cheerleading for me because they were excited that I did so well in the office, but there were also people who were reaching out to me on the side saying, "Thank you for posting about being lonely during COVID. I was too." So now we have a connection, right? And it's okay to post stuff like this. I also did one of me on I have a Peloton on me on my bike. Actually, I probably do this like once a month, and I'm like bright red and my hair's a mess, and I just remind people to go work out. And every time I do, I get text messages, "Thank you for motivating me and inspiring me. I went to the gym today," or whatever it is. This is all about building your brand of trust and likability, and so cool. This is what I started with in the business, and this is what like if I could just do one slide, it would be this slide. You want to educate your network. When I got into real estate, I didn't know anything about real estate. I never bought a house. I'd never worked with a realtor. I got my rental. I lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, right outside Manhattan. I got my apartment in a newspaper. I lived there for 13 years. I really didn't know anything about real estate. So when I first started, and I'm guessing you guys do this too. I started offering to go on appointments for other realtors, right? So if you have an inspection, I'm happy to go on the inspection for you. They throw you a little money, which is great in the beginning of your career or any time in your career, really, if you need money. So what I would do is the post always was the same. It would have that little horn with the confetti sticking out of it. And I would say, inspection day in Toms River, one of the towns in the area. And then I would talk about what happens during inspection day. What are some great questions to ask the inspector? Because I'm educating my network, right? And I didn't know the answers to that, so I Googled it. They say fake it till you make it. That's a way to fake it. Now you know the information and you can share it. This was the inspection day. It was hard for you guys to see, but at inspection day, I always have my clients measure the room so I don't have to go back 2 weeks later because they want to know if their couch can fit. So I talk about that in this post, right? Appraisal day. appraisal day in Brick. And I always mention, if you work in multiple towns, I always mention different towns. So that way they know I'm not just the Jersey Shore. They know I'm not just Spring Lake. So appraisal day in Brick, what happens if the house appraises or under appraises, right? So I had somebody from high school, my Tom's River one, I had somebody from high school that I didn't know in high school. He was 3 years older. I didn't know we were Facebook friends. Sends me a private message or DM, whatever they call it nowadays, sends me a message that says, I see you're working in Tom's River. Can you help my mom buy a house? Yes, I can. But I didn't know who you are, but sure. Because I'm educating, and I actually had other realtors thanking me for this. They're like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, so if you take anything away from this, is educate your network, and they will have instant trust, even if you know nothing about real estate. And let me go. I was going to say, stop me if you have any questions. Let me go back. Business pages, because this is a question everybody always asks. Business pages are important because people will research you or stalk you, whatever they want to call it. They'll research you. So you do want to have a business page, and you want to have information on it. You want your phone number on it. I can't tell you how many realtors don't put their phone number on Facebook. It's not one of those things where you have to worry about somebody calling you that you don't want to call you, because they're going to find it someplace else anyway. Just throw it out on Facebook, especially if you are in these gigantic referral groups where there are like 100,000 people, and you want somebody to call you, and you actually have to search for that person's phone number. They get distracted, and then all of a sudden, like they're looking for your phone number, and then there's a shiny object over here, and they totally forget about you. So if your phone number is right there on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, please use LinkedIn. I will briefly talk about that. Please use LinkedIn. That's where your high net worth people are. Okay. Super easy. It's just like Facebook, but on LinkedIn, I'm more professional. The business page is what's called, I used to work in advertising. That was one of my stints. The business page is called pay to play, meaning in order for it to show up in other people's news feeds, you have to pay money to Facebook in order for it to show up. You'll maybe get like 1 or 2 likes, but if you pay, and you can use Command has a great tool for that. That's when you want to use your page, but you really don't need the business page. I've done this without it. Okay, so let's talk about working your network, which some of you guys had talked about with referrals. We're going to talk about building relationships. I'm going to skip the second experiment. We'll talk about networking. Let them know you're open for business. I had a friend who was not reminding people she was in the business. Her cousin bought it was like a $1.5 million beach house down the street from her without her, because he forgot she was a realtor. So let them know you're open. Okay, you want to love on your network. I'm sure there's another way to say it, but that's how I say it. Again, educate. You want to be a resource, and you want to ask for referrals and reviews. You're skipping that. Oh, actually, are you guys doing both? Or you'll go over this in both. Okay, it's the Ford model. Okay, let's talk about network. Your network, those are the people who are either going to use you or refer you. I'm going to give you an idea. Run with it if you want to. Use part of it if you want to. I had let me back up. Community alliances. So local cafes. I have a coffee shop that I go to once a week. I asked, and some of this costs money, but you're better off spending money doing this versus ads and flyers and all that other stuff. This is loving on your network. Because I was there every week, the owners there, they're not intimidating. They're just people like you and me. I said to them, can I buy a gift card and let my network know to come here, and I'm going to buy them a coffee? He ended up, so it was $100. He ended up donating $100 as well. So I had $200, and I put it on Facebook, and I said, I just bought you coffee. I usually say coffee, but I'm here, so I say coffee. So I at first did that just to my network. Then I did it in my newsletter, which we could talk about. And then once, after like 2 or 3 weeks, when I still had $86 left, I don't know why I remember that number, I just put it out on social media to everybody. And it was great. The owner said to me, he's like, if we surpass the 200 point, we're still going to give out free coffee to people because it's getting him into his business. And now he actually wrote to me last week. He responded to my newsletter and said, next time you're coming to the shop, let me know because I want to sit down and talk with you about stuff. So now he is going to be a champion of me. Or a cheerleader. He's going to want to refer business to me because I referred business to him. So think about who else can you do? So I'm going to ask you guys, who else can you do that with besides a local coffee shop? And you could cheat. I have 2 answers up here, but Chamber of Commerce and contractors. Who else can you refer business to, or I guess, yeah, refer business to that will give you business back? Well, anybody will give you business back. Throw some ideas out.
I'm going to speak for one agent that's on the Zoom world.
Is it Kim?
No, her name is Kenya. She goes to this ceramic, our friend owns a ceramic shop over in Park Circle. And she's there like every other week doing like a little ceramic painting. And so, so that would be a place that I've told her, I'm like, you should definitely use that.
Yeah. It's because people see you every week. Google the Starbucks theory, I believe it is. It's the theory of going to the same restaurant over and over again.
Yeah.
And then the people that work there get to know you and then start referring you business. And the people that come in see you every time and they start referring you business. I'll take one more. Anybody else have a community alignment?
I use my children's rec sport.
That's perfect. Especially if you're just standing on the sideline not talking.
My husband's coaching my son's t-ball team this year, and I'm assistant coaching, if you want to call it that. But like, I actually made little goodie bags with like just a little tag on the front for the first practice. Everybody was like, "This is so cute. What do y'all do?" Because my husband's a business owner as well. But it was just like so easy.
That's
like
awesome.
gave them a little treat, and now they have our business cards and our info.
So somebody here, I don't know if you guys can hear that, mentioned kids sports.
Yeah, I type it in the chat. And then Kim said doctors and teachers.
Doctors and teachers, yeah.
Where you get your hair and nails did.
Mm-hmm.
Those are places you go every month.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the 30 by 30 concept again, use the whole thing, use part of it, definitely use part of it. I made it up, but 30 by 30 by 30, I met with 30 people in 30 days for 30 minutes, so you keep it short. And they were in all different industries, it didn't matter who they were. I was gonna meet with them. I put a blank calendar on Facebook and I said, who wants to have coffee with me? And I would keep updating that post with the boxes being filled in. And what was really cool is this was my very last one, but every day I would say 30 by 30, day 1. I would take a picture of the person and me, post it on Facebook, and I would tell a story about that person, right? So this is Megan, who I worked with in advertising, and she owns a clean out company. She's actually the only female in the entire, she works for John Plugger. She's the only female franchise owner. So I talked about her a little bit. Now, so my network learns about her, and her network sees me tagging her. So they're like, who's this chick that's tagging my friend Megan? What came of this was another person that I met during my 30 by 30 called me and said, can you introduce me to Megan? I think we would have a great alignment. It was a mold inspector. We would have a great alignment. So when you become a connector, and all of these things help people trust you and rely on you and want to use you, right? So if you do this, just make sure to tag that person every time. I had a natural food store owner once. It doesn't have to, it could be your hairstylist, it could be really anybody. It's just about getting together with another person and learning a little about them. And when you do that, and do this just in any conversation with somebody who owns a business, whether it's a plumber or a hairdresser, you say to them, who can I introduce you to that could help you? Because you're not saying, and I apologize if you say this, I really hate, who do you know looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? To me, that is super, super salesy. And yes, I do that too. I roll my eyes when people say that. So when you say to somebody else, how can I help you? What are they going to say to you? Oh, well, how can I help you? You know, there are simple conversations when you're at a party where you don't want to always lead with, I'm a realtor. So you'd say to somebody else, it's like the concept of reciprocity. Hard one. You at a party, you say to somebody, so what do you do for a living? Rather than, hi, I'm a realtor. Who do you know? You know, when you start with them, then the conversation will naturally just come back to you. Okay?
Can I ask one quick question? It's not related, it's
You can
actually
ask
from
me.
like the
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah.
This is my problem, is I overthink everything. I'm literally still about to post it. But do you recommend just doing like regular or putting more like the colored backdrops? Does it matter?
For this, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
just curious.
I mean, you
Okay.
can do, I sometimes use the one with the megaphone.
Yeah. Okay. Just
So that's an algorithm thing. When you post a picture, you get more. So this is a side note. When you post a picture on Facebook, make sure that you have the words that you have on the page are less than 30% of the picture. So you don't want a picture with all words. They call these psychological things, but Facebook doesn't want you to stop and sit there and read because you're going to get bored. So if you just have a few words and then you just have a few words with your story, don't ever put a link in your Facebook post. What happens is you are getting taken off of Facebook to go to Nike.com. Facebook wants you to stay on their page. This is all really logical stuff. What you can do is post the link in the comment section. You could say more info and then do the little down arrow rather than saying more info below. Facebook understands all these tricks that people are doing, but so play with different ideas. Just don't put a link in, like if you have an open house, don't put a link into the pictures of it. Throw up just a few pictures. Do you guys do 72 sold here? What's that? We'll talk about that later. That's a program through KW. Just post a few pictures and then you can put the link in the comment section. Cool. All right. Tell the world you are open for business. This is the story I told you about my friend who lost out on $1.5 million. Actually, it was a little more than that, but she lost out on a big commission because she wasn't letting her cousin know she was in business. So remind them you're in business. If you don't, somebody else will. Share stories. So here's an example. Do you guys use Uber or Lyft or? Let's say and I actually have to write things down because whenever I talk, I'm like, oh, I have to call this person. I have gotten leads from Uber drivers. And actually my lender did too. She just closed a refinancing on an Uber driver. So just picture this, you're in the back seat and you drive by a house that you just showed. Say to the Uber driver, I just showed that house yesterday and it has the coolest XYZ in it. And if the Uber driver wants to know more about real estate, they will say, oh my God, you're a realtor, that's so cool. I was thinking about doing investment properties, right? So, and this is important too when you are trying to feel somebody out if they want to talk about real estate. If they just shut it down, move on to the next topic because you don't want to be that annoying realtor. Another great example is, I think I put it on here, if you are in line at the checkout at a supermarket and somebody's buying cupcakes or cookies, say to them, and this is all supernatural too, you say to them, hey, are those cookies really good? Do you like them? They'll say, oh yeah, I love them. Cool, I'm doing an open house next week and I think it would be great. It's like, maybe I'll pick them up for the open house next week. If that person wants to talk to you about real estate, they'll ask you questions about it and then all of a sudden you have a new client. All right, love in your network. This was my title, gal, who moved to another company. I send gifts to people. I'm always gifting. I just gave a gift to somebody some random person in the van on the way to the airport. I carry something around that I give out to people. Like you were saying with your little bag that you give out at the sports events, that's perfect. If you spend your money on your network versus, I call it spaghetti marketing. I don't know if we have a lot of Italian class, so everything's about spaghetti and pasta. Spaghetti marketing is where, you know the expression, if you throw pasta at the wall and it sticks, that's when you know it's ready.
I still do that.
Great. So I call it spaghetti marketing. When you're just putting an ad in a newspaper or throwing it on Facebook, which is fine, that's spaghetti marketing. You're hoping somebody takes it. When you're doing this, you're being more purposeful and more specific, right? So Emily and I, right when COVID started, and as soon as I noticed toilet paper was going away, we bought 80 rolls of toilet paper, we put them in nice paper, and we, I will read this to you. There's a picture of Emily and me. This is funny because it was social distancing, but we took a picture of the two of us social distancing anyway, put it on the front of a card and wrote, we always have your needs covered. Carly Ringer and Emily Bartlett. So it was funny. So I sent, maybe this cost me, obviously the toilet paper is cheap, to send the packages, I think was like $4 a person. Let's say the whole project cost $400, which sounds like a lot, but if I get one lead out of that, one referral, that covers my 400. With this project, because it was funny, they were posting it on social media. They were posting it on Instagram and tagging me. They were posting it on Facebook. My chiropractor last year, so in 2022, my chiropractor sent me because I sent her money, sent me a text message. We finally broke into your toilet paper, right? So I have people who have it on their shelf as a reminder about COVID and may sit on their shelf forever. So if you are not creative, I recommend getting together as a group, like an office group, and just brainstorm ideas of things that you guys could do. And you can send out toilet paper, and you could all send out toilet paper. You're sending them to different people. And if not, then they get 2 rolls of toilet paper.
Have a toilet paper party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a quick question? You might get to this, or you might eventually tell us this. I never jumped on social media because I just knew I wouldn't be consistent because I was driving so much at the time. How do you track what those, how do you track how do you track if those actually result in leads or just brand awareness?
So they will do both, and it's over time. The more you, I hate the word touch.
Like, do
we all say
do
touch.
you have a way of saying, like, do you have a spreadsheet or?
I do on my door.
Oh, well, no, I would too. I'm saying, but the social media people, the little people back there working, there isn't anything that they track. You have to like say, okay, this pulled from it, so it's definitely a lead from social media.
And what I do is when I have a new lead come in, you can do it in command. I really like command. I know it's like
but does the lead
it's getting so much better.
No,
No, but in command you can tag the person. So you tag, and by the way, the command app is even better than command. Because did I just earn my keep?
Yes, thank
You can go home now, you can go explore Charleston. So the command app, just sidetracking here for a second, the command app is so easy, and I don't actually use my computer often. My phone is always in my hands and now my wrist. When you get a new lead in, let's say somebody writes to you on Facebook and says they want to be on your newsletter, which I have people, every week I get like 5 to 10 people who want to be on my newsletter, which I'll tell you about. I just go into the app and I copy and paste their name, I copy and paste their email, and then I tag them Facebook. And then I tag them Jersey Shore because everybody who's Jersey Shore gets my Jersey Shore newsletter. But then I can track, did I find them via Facebook or LinkedIn is another one, or Instagram, or I track, is it a referral from a friend? And you can do, I actually do it in both. I do it in an Excel spreadsheet just because I happen to love Excel, but I do it in command as well. Okay. The app is so super easy that I used to send, whenever a new lead came in, I would send it to my admin and have her type it up. But now, like, it takes more time for me to compose the letter to her than it does for me to just go into this app. It's so easy. The bottom right-hand corner, there's a little plus. You just add somebody into it.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt here.
No, I'm not great at going linear anyway. Okay, so host events. These actually do not have to cost you any money because you can ask your lender who you send all your business to, can I have $300? Your photographer that always shoots your houses. Hey, that's not picture. Hey, can you come do a photo shoot for my clients? I don't know, are you guys an attorney, Steve? Mm-hmm. Great, your attorney who you send business to. Can you sponsor my bowling event? Which, by the way, so this was great, and this is actually super cute. I brought all the signs, like the soul sign, the open house. I invited, this was earlier on in my career, I invited 50 families to my event. It was bowling, 2 hours, pizza, soda, shoes, all included, come 2 to 4 on a Saturday. What do you think the most important part of this day was?
For whom, you or them?
For us, for me. I mean, for them, it was obviously.
People to see all the people that you've worked with? No?
That's important. What else?
You're letting on your people.
Yeah.
You have their names, numbers and everything.
Yeah, so I reached out to 50 clients who maybe I wouldn't have reached out to. And I didn't just reach out to them once. I reached out to them. I used Canva. Was it Canva? No, I used Vistaprint because that was prior to Canva for me. Vistaprint has really cheap, and you could always find a coupon. Vista is a really cheap way to print postcards, and they come pretty quickly. I reached out, so I sent out a post, like an actual in the mail invite to people, which people love getting mail now because they never get mail. Then I called them, then I talk with my hands. Then I called them and then I texted them the day beforehand just to confirm that they were coming. 3 families came out of the 50. First of all, one of them has given me 5 referrals since. One of them just gave me, the Groans, they were one of my very first clients. They just gave me another friend whose mother passed away. I did not pay anything for this event because in this picture, back to Emily's here, this is my title girl, this is my lender, this is my attorney. They all give me money for the event. It was free for me. But all those people, even though they didn't come, appreciated that I was giving them something for free that was not related to real estate, right? So the most important part of an event is not who shows up. It's awesome that they show up. It's not who shows up. It's your ability to reach out to people in a non-salesy, I am coming from contribution, giving you something way. Some other ideas, you could throw a barbecue. The top one was, this was super cute. I wish you guys could see this better. I did a photo shoot in the fall and it was non-denominational, so that way people can put out their Christmas and Hanukkah cards and whatever they celebrate, New Year's cards. So it was just a fall backdrop, and I staggered people. So once an hour, 3 families came. It was like 4 hours. My photographer, who shoots houses, did the photo shoot, and I went to Aldi and I got, I don't know if you have Aldi, it's like Trader Joe's. It's just really cheap, and I got little snacks. And then afterwards, I followed up with them by sending them all their pictures. And I also I made coasters. I put their pictures on tile coasters and I mailed it to them. So there are follow-up things. That cost me, not a lot, but that cost me some money. I had somebody a year later say, hey, do you still have that picture? So they remembered me. These are ways for people to remember you. I'm very proud of this one. I'm gonna send it around and it's all written up all over. And this is for next year or March Madness or whatever you want to do. I did a Super Bowl grid for my client, a Super Bowl pool for my clients, and I spoke to them 7 weeks in a row. Some of the weeks I spoke to them multiple times. Everybody got to pick a free box. They picked their own number. And I had prizes which were donated. I bought a Nordstrom card and a Trader Joe's card because not everybody lives right in my area. Some of them live an hour away. But the other ones were local. I had a local salt suite spa type of thing. I don't know if you guys know what that is. A spa. A local spa donated $80 worth of spa treatment. A local restaurant gave me a $50 gift card. A jewelry store gave me $100, and a men's consignment shop gave me $100 too. So I didn't have to pay for this. I was advertising them, so they loved it. And this was a way for me to reach out to clients that I haven't talked to in 6 years. 2 of my clients, just from doing this, reached out to me and asked me to come over for dinner so that I could see how their place looks since they moved in, that to me was like better than getting a referral. I thought that was so cool because then you know they like you. I also had one of my clients who I hadn't talked to in 2 years since prior to COVID reached out to me. He's like, okay, I'm ready to start looking in Seaside Park again. Great, he's looking at a house for $850. So even if I did spend money on this because I sent these out as postcards in the mail right before the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna make a lot more than the $200 that the mail cost me. Have you guys done events? And I want to be mindful of time, so just scream. Okay, just go like this one. Okay. Have you guys tried events? They can be simple, like let's make rice cream. What have you done? But wait,
Share with a friend.
We used to always do a client appreciation party. We're actually going to do more of it. That's one thing that I was really good at doing, so I'm going to add more of those. But it is super easy. I mean, you just get people to, what's the word? Sponsor. And then you just find a local spot. Like this year I hope to do, we used to do the Millionaire Real Estate Investor Seminar once a month. And this was back when Craigslist was the place to do it, So we would put it out on Craigslist, and then we would put it out maybe somewhere else, and we would have just, strangers walk in, and we would do that once a month with a loan officer in place. So your first time home buyer seminar. Yeah. So we've done a couple of those.
Teaching classes are great.
We've done a couple of those throughout our careers of all that, and they've always been good. You just have to be consistent.
So I want to back up and ask you a question. When you ask for somebody to sponsor an event, what do you say to them?
I need your money. No.
So did everybody write that down?
I'll spell it. It's a hard script. No, what we did is I absolutely went and found the inspectors. The inspector I use frequently, the attorney I always close with, and one of the loan officers. And when we would rotate events, we'd have different loan officers. So we'd have at least 3 sponsors, and they were also asked to be in the room, and I would talk about who they were briefly. But was
that hard to ask?
Mm-mm.
You're like Oprah, so tell us more.
It wasn't hard because if you have a database where people are coming in, and I would often say to those sponsors, I'll make sure you're branded on each communication.
Yeah.
So even if no one shows up, let's say worst case scenario, no one comes, they've gotten some value, people come. And then we also used to do a vendor networking. Like I built my business asking vendors to be in the same room to share networking and business tips and strategies. So they were building business together. And I put them in the same room before I ever sold a house, and they thought I was the best real estate agent. And I was like, yes, I am. But it was just about getting them in the room and making it professional. So I'm trying to get back to doing some of that stuff, but it is really easy, and people are happy to, especially if you spread it out, then you're not asking a lot from each person. Right. I always like to have 3 sponsors.
Awesome, thank you. So I want to take 2 things from that. One is,
oh my gosh, are you filming me?
Do you want to fix your hair? One is that it's really easy to ask somebody for money. But you don't have to just talk to somebody who's in the business. I did, and I always do my meetings off-site. They're not in my KW office, sort of like this, because it's less intimidating. I do it at a bar. The last one that I did was my accountant, and I had him talk to local businesses. So that's the whole be a resource. It doesn't always have to be about real estate, right? Everybody in the area knows me as the local resource. People that I don't know will reach out to me. Somebody just asked me yesterday, I didn't have their number in my phone. I didn't know who they were. They texted me, hey Carly, where's the best place in town to get a massage? So do you know what mind share is? You guys remember? It's your brain is this big, and how much of this brain is me in your brain? That's the mind share. Like you want to always be part of somebody's mind. And even though if that was maybe not about real estate, they were thinking about me because they wanted a massage. That sounds weirder than it. That came out strange, but it's the truth. Okay, so surprise and delight. Are you guys familiar? Anybody who's in luxury will be familiar with this concept, but do you guys know what surprise and delight is? Throughout a transaction, you always want to be, you don't want to ever be transactional, right? Where you want to humanize yourself, but you also want to make it exciting for them. So throughout the transactions, you do things like, I don't know, I have it over there, but at the beginning of a transaction, I'll write a handwritten postcard, and you could do this on Canva. This is something a little different, but you have the same postcard for everybody. Mine has a picture of the sun rising, and it says thankful for blue skies, sunrise, and clients like you. As soon as I meet a new client, I write on the actually I already have these pre-written. It says thank you for trusting me along your journey, and I pop it in the mail. That's like a step above what most realtors will do. And then they thank you for thinking of them outside of like that conversation you just had. when we get past the appraisal part, and this is really inexpensive, when we get past the appraisal part, I send out it's on resume paper, I send out a list of moving tips, right? Don't forget to change your mailing address here, here, and here, and label your boxes by room and all this other stuff. And then I went onto Amazon and I bought packaging tape and a Sharpie. I just take one of each. I take a string and I clip it to that sheet, and it cost me less than $7. And I pop it in the mail after appraisal, because you never know what could go wrong nowadays. And it's just like a little way to go a step above, right? And that's something cute. And do they need more packaging tape? Absolutely, but you don't have to buy it. Okay.
Someone mentioned before,
Yeah.
we talked about this, that they put their logo on moving boxes.
Yes.
And so when they go next door and then they go to move again, they'll see their logo. So
Yeah.
that's a step above too,
Yeah.
but that's
I heard
something I
that.
heard.
That's smart.
Yeah, I want that one too. I need to do that, thank you. Okay, so, you guys probably all do this, but you want to give referrals out for an inspector, for a plumber, for all of these other resources throughout your transaction, and let your clients know that, and I always say to them, even though once your head hits the pillow in your new house, remember that I don't go away. That sounds creepy right now too. But I am still there with you after the transaction, so people will continue to call me for a handyman, for an air duct cleaning, or there's a raccoon in the attic. Who do they call? They call you because you're not just a realtor, you're a resource, right? So you're going to be top of mind whenever something happens. Okay, and buy local, but that's just buy local thing. Educate and connect. How am I doing on time? Great. Okay, so educate, which we talked about before. That was the example that I just used with having an accountant, and don't do that right now because they're busy, but having an accountant come out for local businesses. So this is when I did it. I did it in December, and the way I advertised it all over Facebook, and when I say advertised, it was free because I went into Facebook groups and I said, hey, small businesses, my accountant is coming to the Anchor Bar on Thursday at 5, free apps. Free hot apps, by the way. If you say hot, people will show up on time. That was me. You say apps are being served at 5, nobody shows up too late because they think the apps will be cold. It's psychological. Not some little trick I figured out. But in December, say, I can help you save money when you're doing your taxes in April if you come to this meeting now. I get up and I speak, and the accountant keeps referring to me. This is not intentional, but he kept referring to me as Carly does this as a realtor, so it's repetitive over and over, Carly the realtor, and I wasn't saying it. It's called third-party validation when somebody else talks about you. So that's a great little tip. Come from contribution, that's like my favorite thing to say. Who can you introduce each other to, which is what you were talking about. Have an event or a dinner. I actually, one day, I want to have all of the vendors that I work with, I want to invite them for dinner at BYO, so that I don't have to pay for all their drinks, and have them all at the same table. So my mold remediation inspector, my oil tank sweep guy, all these people sit around the table. When you connect people, they think you're amazing, right? So do something like that, or just throw a happy hour and invite people and introduce people. Okay. Ask for a referral. Don't say, who do you know looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? You can say, do you know anybody who needs real estate help speaking? And then you always want to get a review. So I just want, can you guys try something? Or let me see. I'm gonna have you go on to, do you guys know what tiny URL is? Oh no, Linktree. There's so many tricks. tinyurl.com shortens a link. So if you have this really long website for your open house, shorten it to tinyurl.com/148 South Street. And that's all you, so if you're emailing that to people or putting it in a text, it's shorter. Do you guys know what Linktree is? Okay, so it's linktr.ee Linktree is a way, and you see this a lot on Instagram, Linktree is a way to put all of your links in one place. So, and I'm gonna see if I can pull this up and show you guys. Okay, go to linktr.ee. Did I do it? No.
tr.ee.
Yep. I just have to figure out what my link tree is. Let's see, try / Carly Ringer. Yep, okay. linktr.ee / my name. It's CarlyRinger. I love this. I'm going to talk about command again. You can, in command, you could create a QR code. Actually, in Canva, you could create a QR code. In command, you can have a landing page for your open houses and people could sign into it and they cannot give you a fake email address. You could put that into Linktree, right? Have a QR code to your Linktree. Do you guys pull up my Linktree?
Oh, yeah.
So my Linktree has my Google reviews, Zillow reviews, houses for sale. I own another business. Join our mailing list. If you guys actually take one moment, can you just click sign into the class? I forgot to do that. Can you just sign in for this? And then you'll see I do this to Google Docs, Google Forms, which is super easy to figure out and very helpful. Google Forms will put all of your information right into a spreadsheet for me. Pardon? Oh, Carly, CARLY / Carly Ringer like a vet. Carly like Carly's son. Carly Rich. Okay, if you could just sign in. The bottom of that is a book that I highly, highly recommend called 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. He talks about a lot of this stuff in his book. It's solely referral information. And then when you're done, can you go to Google reviews at the top and leave me a review? And then go to what? Google reviews at the top and just leave a review. It could be really short. Carly's hair looked great then. Actually, I didn't look right. Probably doesn't. Google reviews are more important than Zillow reviews, especially with where we see Zillow going. Google reviews will push you up on a Google search. So always ask your clients to do a Google review. On Facebook, you could turn off the reviews because you have crazy people writing reviews for you that haven't ever used you, so you can actually turn off your Google reviews. I mean, your Facebook reviews. See, I could do this in 15 minutes, not a problem. I meant the whole class.
That's super cool. Like that you put houses for sale and click on it, goes to your application.
Yeah, so Linktree is free.
Yeah, I have one, but I like that.
And when you have an open house, you just put your new command sign in, throw that onto your Linktree. All right, I'm going to keep moving on, and I want to tell you guys, I appreciate you paying attention for this long because I know it's hard for realtors to sit on it. So thank you. Let's talk about expanding out your network, right? So we all have our own little networks, but how do we make them bigger? Some ideas are agent referrals. I do a lot of business through referrals. Part of me traveling is that I get to meet people. And if you know somebody who wants to buy in Central Jersey, we actually now have met in person. It's formed a relationship. There are Facebook groups, and I'll give you a few of them. But all you really have to do is go into Facebook and write agent or realtor referral or real estate agent or whatever it is. Labco Agents has a referral group. Labco Agents, you learn a ton of information on. There's a lot of negativity and crap, just scroll right past that. But when I started my business, I learned a lot from Labco Agents. I think they have over 100,000 people. There are Keller Williams, you have KW referrals, KW agent-to-agent referrals. There are so many different websites out there that are Facebook pages, and somebody will say, I need a, let's see if I could do this. I need a realtor. I have a seller in Mount Pleasant, right? So I have a seller in Mount Pleasant, who do you know? And then other agents will type your name in. So you want to build relationships with agents from out of the area who could be your cheerleader and type your name into that, right? Another way to meet agents is, anybody go to family reunion or mega camp? This is a really good one this year. It's expensive, I'm not gonna lie. It could cost you $2,000 or $3,000, but if you get a referral, or you're gonna get more than one referral, you get 2 referrals that just paid for your trip, and also the trip is a write-off, and you learn a ton. Okay, so go to national events, local events. Next time there is a Bold at a different market center within an hour from your house, go to that Bold. Sorry. But tell them to come to this one. If you go to Bold in a different market center, you're going to meet 100 people from a different market center who might not want to come all the way to where you are, so they can refer business to you here, right? So I would go to a North Jersey Bold, or teach a class like I am, teach a class, and you can either travel the country, again, and write it off, or teach a class an hour from here, an hour and a half from here, where you know those agents probably don't want to come here. Maybe you're good at, do you guys have showing time? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's showing time, maybe it's Excel, maybe it's the Command app. Pick something you're good at and use Canva. You don't even need a presentation, I just started using them, but you can use Canva to make a presentation. This is a way for you to expand your network and meet other agents, because people will go to another agent and say, who do you know in Charleston? I just had one of my clients say, who do you know in, I keep saying, in Daytona Beach? So I went onto Facebook and I'm like, who do I know in Daytona Beach? And now I get a 25% referral fee for that. I made, last year I made over $30,000 by giving referrals out. And I paid way more than that. One year I paid over $60,000 out because so many agents were referring business to me. It's a big expense, but you're getting business. And then those people become part of your network and they give you referrals out. Okay. Host brainstorming sessions, like you were saying, with other vendors, right? And teach classes. Okay. I'm gonna skip through this because I already mentioned a lot of it. But when you get an agent referral, please stay in communication with that person, because you want them to refer you more business. I don't know why this is here in this part, but I'm gonna explain the story. Picture me when I was this is me when I was in kindergarten. This is my kindergarten teacher, and this should have been earlier, but I'm gonna explain it. Well, I guess it relates. This was a referral from somebody that I met at family reunion. Oh no, I met Tracy at family reunion. Tracy saw that somebody in her market center needed somebody down the shore, so Tracy referred Ira to me. So I had never met Ira. Ira called me. Ira called me and said, can you help one of my clients? He wants to sell his place. It was 45 minutes from my house, which was for $119,000. So I knew that my commission was going to be very low on that. And I was thinking about not taking it. And he said, it's Bet Everson. I was like, why does that name sound so familiar? It was Bet Everson's boyfriend. Turns out Bet Everson, the reason it sounded so familiar is because she was Miss Bet. She was my nursery school teacher. So the world works in the most bizarre of ways. I ended up taking this, and I made maybe like $2,000 after all expenses. And that's when I realized this business isn't just about money. It's about your connections and reconnecting with other people. And to me, I made $2,000, but like I would have done that for free. It's just a cool thing to share with people, you know? Oh, I know. When I talked about this over a week, I told the story on Facebook every day. I dropped little nuggets about what was going on, and I didn't tell them till the very end who she was. And people were following every day. So somebody out of my class last week had said to me, when you post a Facebook ad, he wanted to do a different ad every day. And I said, that's not how advertising works. If you think about it, you always see the same M&M commercial. Mind share, right? You want to always see it and it's repetitive. So there are a few things in advertising. One is frequency and how often you see it. The other is but repeating, you want to repeat it. So you want to tell the same story or like build up to it. That's fine in advertising. When you're on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you want to pull people into your story and do it that way. But if you're running, I'm sorry if I threw that off, but if you're running an ad, do the same ad over and over again. That was my point. But don't run ads. Do this instead. Okay. We already talked about this. I had my accountant come to a bar. He actually paid for the apps, but you could do it over Zoom. Some of these things can be done over Zoom. I recommend doing it in person, but some things easily done over Zoom. And you say to them, who do you, like, how can I help you with your business, which we talked about before. We talked about this too, but you don't want to be salesy. You always want to lead with your heart, right? So you're recommending somebody because you know that they're good, they're going to recommend you back, type of thing. Maybe how to bold it without being salesy. That was it. So this is where I live. If you're not local to the Jersey Shore, I would love to help you guys with any referrals, and I want to answer any questions you have, and I'll give you my info too.
Thank you.
Thank you. What questions can I help answer? I know we all had questions throughout. Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me and paying attention the whole time. But it's getting excited when you see people's faces instead of them looking down.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No question.
Oh.
As a comment, I absolutely want to thank you because there was so much to take away from this, from the Canva to the link tree and, having that existence, and we went on and we saw you. It was just amazing. There was so much, and I'm already excited. I can't even sit down, but I'm gonna stay in the seat. Thank you.
There's a lot of ways to make your business efficient.
There's a lot of Zoom people saying, thank you, great class. This was
Thank you.
amazing. Thanks a bunch. Really good stuff.
If you do one of them.
When you're in real estate, it's like, you gotta do all these things, and then no, you just do what you like to do and do good.
And you guys could, again, get together and have a brainstorming session and hold each other accountable for this kind of stuff.
The simplicity, I'll share my aha was just so small. The simplicity, my aha was just the fact that you don't put your link in the Facebook post.
Yeah.
How simple is that?
And it makes sense.
In every single one of our posts ever have a link in it.
Wait till you see how much more engagement.
That's incredible. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Anybody else got ahas they want to share?
I've just been blinded by them. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you more than you probably even know. My accountant
All right.
appreciates you.
We're taking a 10-minute break so everybody can grab some lunch, have some food, and then we will be back on for tea.
Yeah, go ahead.
See everybody.
Oh my goodness, how are you? Thank you.
In a year, you automatically are going to be a part of that club. And then what that entitles you and your clients to is you will have free re-inspections. Doesn't matter how many. It used to be tiered from 1 to 5, 5 to 10. There was a price point. They're free to your clients with you being a part of the club. You will also have next day inspections upon request. Then you'll also be able to, like, we have our 100-day guarantee. And so basically we guarantee our inspection report. So if you, right now there's a threshold of $1,000. And what that means is that if something breaks that we've said in the report is in good working order, we cover it within that first 100 days from the inspection or 22 days from closing. So right now the threshold is $1,000. We double that for you as part of our club. So it's just a great way, again, for us to say thank you. I have been getting such tremendous response from agents. It's just fun. It's fun to send out. You get a report every quarter to let you know where you are. And then just always reach out to me and for any questions in that. So Thank you for bringing us in and being just such a great partnered office. And we look forward to this year and all the things it's going to bring. Thank you. Any questions you guys have? And for those of you that did the CE class, your certificates will be to you by end of working day tomorrow. It's taken me a little bit longer, but I'm getting them out to you, so you'll have them. But your credits are all uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, about that feature, particularly with the inner circle and having that guarantee on anything in the report. As you can imagine, with the market the way that it is, we're seeing more opportunities to speak to unhappy clients. Is that a good way to put it? Does that work well? All right, good. And one of the things that we're finding is that when you work with a team of people that actually will come back in and say, hey, here's where we're going to help, here's where we're going to help. Not everything has to end up in paying $20,000 and it solves the problem. A lot of times people are coming back and they just want the help. So if you're partnering up with an inspection company who comes in and says, hey, yeah, let's work to resolve this. It may not be what the original ask was, but the fact that you have someone coming in and working on your team to do that, that's a huge feature to have.
Have those conversations.
Yeah.
You want to leave, you want that client to leave you thinking that you're awesome, Keller Williams is awesome, and the team that you brought in to work with them is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's about the experiences in my mind.
And it's working to a resolution, which is what that helps. So I'll give you a quick example and then I'll move on. So I literally on the way here, got off the phone with a past client who closed. There was a lot of things missed and their original ask was probably, I think, $15,000 that they wanted this. And we have been able to finally come to a resolution that's not nearly that they're happy. The point is everyone on board with the help. And that's what they're looking to do. So you have to be on board with someone who's trusted. Okay, they just come right down.
Give me that.
So we are going, I'm gonna walk around the room and Pat's microphone will fill at least 3 buckets. So 3 good things for somebody in the room or within the company. Who's gonna go first?
All the situations for us getting us ready to roll. I'm also really thankful for Sonia and Danny Monto. Thank you, guys.
I'm thankful for Dan to go first.
Sure.
We're thankful for you guys.
Harley. You're good.
All right, so we have Tammy, our board coach, coming on, so we're gonna try to breeze through these awards. So I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna say what it is, and let's just have a consistent clap for the next 2 minutes. Sound good? All right, starting now. February listings taken. Consistent clap. February listings taken. West Ashley.
Awesome. Sarah.
February listings taken. Sold. Mount Pleasant. February listings sold. West Ashley. February closed units. Mount Pleasant. February closed units. West Ashley. Production leaderboards, Mount Pleasant individuals. How about that?
That's incredible.
February year to date. Person looking to hold on to that individual award this year. Production leader individuals, Mount Pleasant.
No, teams and groups.
Teams and groups, Mount Pleasant. First one. And then
West
production
Ashley.
leaders, individuals. Oh my gosh, West Ashley.
Yes.
We have a lot to celebrate.
That's awesome.
Production leaderboard, teams, groups, West Ashley. Production leaderboard individuals, Greater Charleston. These are both options combined. Production leaderboard teams groups, Greater Charleston. Teams groups. Profit share,
They haven't been updated.
mailbox money.
Not the 21st.
Gotta love that. This is January though. Woo-hoo! And this is West Ashley. Another one. Cappers. This is exciting to celebrate, making 100% of their commission. How about that?
Damn.
First closings with us. Welcome, congratulations. Oh, can I hear this on platform?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, guys. And then welcome to our family. Jan already introduced them, but Sonia and Danny, you're up here. Can you guys stand up? And welcome to all the world. Anybody else that's up here, please stand up. Thank you, guys. Awesome. And then birthdays. Happy birthday.
Anyone today? What's the date? Suzanne Smith today.
Who's?
Suzanne Smith.
Suzanne Smith. Happy birthday.
Do you want to sing it?
Happy birthday to
Happy
Wow.
birthday to you.
Oh my
Happy
God.
birthday.
You have to finish it now.
Happy birthday, dear Suzanne.
Happy birthday
to you. Awesome.
I didn't think he was going to take me up on it. So
Now we have what's coming up.
what's coming up? Awesome. So Maggie's Shift Book Club started off this week. If you weren't able to make it, please join in, invite people to it. This will be in the West Ashley office every Wednesday at noon in the training room. So
Shift saved the market centers who were failing in 2008, which saved the agents, right? There's never been a more crucial time for you to take this. Now, last week was just the introduction to the class. So pages 1 through 23 next Wednesday. There's never been a more important time for you guys to be reading this book. That's not an exaggeration. Get into Shift right now. Book club Wednesday from 12 o'clock. Hope to see you guys. Yes. Wait, well said, Gail. Good chance I was on me.
yeah, but that should be on.
It's not.
Change the mic. Okay. All right. Shift into Overthrive. That's gonna be March 30th, 9 to 11:30. Sydney will be in person. Sign up for this if you have questions about command, or just want to get to know a little bit more about what Sydney does. She's gonna be leading a 3 lead generation playbooks for 2.5-hour workshop through command. It's gonna be a great class. She's a great instructor. If you haven't heard from her, we all on the leadership team have, but having her in person is truly an honor to have her come to our market center. So please sign up for this. I know we have a decent amount of people signed up, but we'd love to pack out the room for this and go to it.
We're not sold out.
We're not sold out yet.
Every other region sold out. So we got called out on the regional call there. A lot of people are paying thousands of dollars for their CRM tech that they're using. At least go to this and see if you can save $1,000. Right? See what Command has done. We're changing sort of Command to know that what she's going to offer is you guys great resources. And your Keller Williams leadership team now has 2 of the top trainers at Keller Williams in 2022 coming to teach you guys. So that's awesome.
The next one, yeah. Yep. It's the top 10 ways that Command can save you money, I think, or in your business or something like that. I'm not 100% on that, but it's top 10 ways that Command can do that for your business.
Probably number one your CRM.
Yep.
Talk about campaigns in Command is $2.29 a lead with a 1 to 2% conversion rate. Meaning you spend $250, you made $9,000. That's a pretty good ROI. Obviously, that's 100 leads you have to work, so that's going to talk with smart plans. But you go to it, see if you can save some money. There's a lot of savings. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So really quickly, I do want to say this. For those of you that are looking at this one, this class with Sydney is not going to be 100% Command focused, by the way. One of the things she's going to be referring there is the 3 lead generation playbooks. Those playbooks we've sent out, those are the playbooks that were shared at family reunions. So there are going to be ways to implement certain things into your business, be it open houses, be it I can't remember what they are, but I just want to specify this is going to be an awesome class. And if you're not using Command, it doesn't mean it's not for you. Yes, there will be Command information there because we're talking about a database, which we all talk about, and that just happens to be the platform that is used mostly. However, it's not a Command specific class division. So I just want to make sure I specified that. So all right, so here's what we wanted to do. We've got Tammy coming up to talk to us in a couple minutes, but I wanted to take some time for Ben and I to work through a couple of different things. And we put reality check on here because quite frankly, we didn't really know what else to put on the slide to make sure this is the transition to the next part. So reality check is what creativity you get at Second State Coffee at 8 in the morning, right before the team meeting. So there you go. One of the things that we've been talking a lot about, and actually Ben, Jan, and I had this conversation the other day, is there's a balance that we're going through right now in the market between understanding the opportunity that this market presents to us, and then also embracing the reality of the market, right? I remember distinctly, and I can't remember what year it was, but I remember distinctly the seat I was in. It was Lynn and I were sitting at family reunion one year, and we were at about the same type of season. We had been talking about a shift, we had been in the middle of a shift, we had all these things. And the next slide that came up in a room of 10,000 people, which by the way, was down from 14,000 people that had come to family reunion the year before. And the next slide that came up on there was the house is on fire. Right? That's uplifting, isn't it? And here's the challenge is I think sometimes we focus so much on mindset and making sure that we're focused on the positive and we're focused on the opportunities. We lose the sight of not actually creating the reality check, which is the house may be on fire. And as Mark King said, we have a leadership call with Mark King every Monday. And one of the things he said on Monday is if your house is on fire, would you want your family members to come in and be like, hey, Devin, the house is on fire and we have a huge opportunity for them. Okay. We get to play with water. We get to get some running in. And then we get to get outside and get some fresh air. No. Like family members come in and say, get out of the house. Here's the issue that we have. Again, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom yet. Is the market up or down right now? It's down. Thank you. Right? It's down. It's down. And by the way, if you didn't know the answer to that question, there's an opportunity for you when it comes to training, right? And knowing the market. It's down. How much is it down? How much are units down? Units are down a lot. Units are down 20% year over year. Not good or bad, but it's reality, right? What about volume? Down. How much? 10%. Here's the deal right now, and this was said at family reunion, and I love that we're looking at this is a great example of perspective. They're still projected, like in 2022 was still the top year in sales volume that we've ever seen. and 2023 will be in the top 3. Yet the available units are down 20%. So the income is there to get, it's just going to be harder to get. And if we get too wrapped up on the, oh, well, it's only down this, or, oh, it's still the 3rd best year, are we really embracing the reality? We're not. We're not. So how do we make sure we do that? And as a leadership team, we have not necessarily done that at the highest level, which is why you've seen a pivot a lot when it comes to training. Things we had, was there anything on the training calendar this week? A lot, right? Like, this is the busiest training calendar week that we've had. And it's all geared towards how do we address the reality? How do we embrace the reality of what's going on? Right? You've affiliated with the company because the company hopefully brings you value to then help you with your business. And we hesitate, and I say we, I won't even include the incredibly talented leadership. I would say I hesitate sometimes to talk about the value and the things that we can bring to you as agents, because we don't want to be like, oh, here they go again. Here they go again, it's bold, here they go again, it's ignite, here they go again, it's the 4 laws. Why do we keep saying that over and over? It matters, right? These are the things that, by the way, going back to the stats we saw at the awards banquet, it matters. Those are the things that are creating the fact that we had a double-digit increase in market share in 2022. When our biggest competitor had the double-digit decrease in market share in 2022. These things matter, and if we don't keep communicating them to you, then are we really serving you from the Keller Williams side of it? So the next question, we had the first question, is the market down? Here's the next question. But write this down, you don't have to share it out loud. Is your business up or down? Is your business up or down? Is your business up in units? Or is your business up in volume? Write it down, you have to share it. Here's what I'll tell you, 75% of the agents in our organization in Charleston, volume was down in 2022. No, the last 12 months, not even 2022. We look at these frequently. 75% volume was down. That's the reality check. That's the house on fire. People's businesses are down. Here's the good news. 112 people in our organization had a positive increase in their volume last year. Individually, I'm not saying the company grew in volume because we recruited great people, which did happen. I'm saying people individually, business grew in a positive number, not just shrunk less than the market. They grew at a positive 112. That's 25% of the organization. So can it be done? Exactly. And these people, I can't. Oh, Kayla's doing great, by the way. I love it. Kayla's like participation today, and I love it. And the rest of you are like, all right, what's happening? I'm on fire, y'all aren't. So maybe we'll figure out what's happening with that. Maybe we haven't told you that the house is on fire enough, so you should be more fired up about it. Let go fire. All right, so 25%, 112 people saw a positive increase in their business last year. And I bet if we pulled the numbers, we would show those are the people that are engaging in the mindset they need to, which is a lot of what we're talking about. So, Ben, you want to chat a little bit more about that?
So where do you start? Who knows what these are?
Nope, not that one. Who knows what these are?
The question of the book.
Not the book, those 4. What are those 4? Shout it out if you know. It is the 4 laws of lead generation, right? It was on the training calendar. For those who weren't there, guess what? I've trapped you. So it's the 4 laws of lead generation. Number 1, build your database. Number 2, feed it every day. 3, communicate it with it systematically. Number 4, service all leads. So what does Gary Keller say our database is? It's our data bank. Where do we start? Well, we start with our sphere. We start with our past clients, our previous coworkers, our Facebook friends. I don't care if you've been here for 25 years or 1 year, you have a database, right? I don't care if you're not from Charleston, because you have a database. You can know people in Cincinnati, Ohio, and guess what? The best money you can ever make is what? A referral fee, because you did nothing, right? You have a database. So that's where we start. We need to go deep and figure out where that is. And we need to put it in one system, not just our phone. We need to have our database set somewhere. Number 2, oh wait, quick exercise. Everybody stop. How many people are in your database? So there's the exercise that we ask if we were to have a party on the peninsula, huge party. I've asked everybody this before, massive, massive party. And all they had to do was say free flights. All they had to do was say how they know you, right? How many Facebook friends do they have? We went to elementary school. What would you say that number is? Think about it. Okay. Now, Devin, what's that number for you? 2,500 people. Who's got a calculator for me? 2,500 times 6.06. What is 6%? What is that number? Hold on 1 second. So you know 2,500 people. What is the 6%? 3 to 6% is what we know converts in our database if we touch it in a systematic way. So we'll go at 6%, which is what? 150. What's your average sales price? 150 times 350. 350,000. Yeah. I appreciate you making sure. Yeah.
I'm stressed now.
What's it? Yeah, I want the answer. 52.5 million times 0.0. What's your average commission? 22.5%. Point times 0.025.
1.3 million.
1.3 million. Did you make 1.3 million at GCI last year? Okay, so say we go half. Did you make $500,000 last year? So is there money left on the table? Right, so this is, and that's Bill, not a science guy. So he's pointing at this. Make sure you know this number. Make sure you know how many people are in your database and how much money you're leaving on the table. Right, everybody got that? So say you're at 1. What do we do? What's number 2? What's law number 2? Oh, wait. Guys, I'm rolling. These are scripts. So, Ben, I got all these friends on social media, but I don't know where to start. I haven't talked to these people in 5 years. Well, how about the script that, hey, Ben, I know there's a lot of uncertainty in the real estate market, reaching out to all my friends and clients to see if there's anything I can do and bring clarity on. Hope you've been well. How about you send that message to your Facebook friends? How about to your past clients that we haven't talked to in 5 years? I'm raising my hand as high as I possibly can. Hey, Ben, it's Ben, your old real estate agent. Can you believe it's been 5 years? Wanted to apologize that I haven't been in touch more. How's everything going? Start that conversation back up. Or everybody that you haven't talked to in 5 years. Can you believe we graduated high school 25 years ago? How have you been? Some plays that we can run. We'll talk about a reverse bold. We can do a canned food drive. I shared this exercise with you guys. Go to your entire database, your people deep in your Facebook, and say, hey, I'm doing a canned food drive. Would it be okay if I dropped off a brown paper bag at your house next week? You fill it up with the extra food that you have in there, and then I'll circle back in a couple weeks, or I'll circle back in another week. And guess what? You're now going to talk to these people twice at their front door. They're going to ask what you do. Oh, I'm doing this for my real estate team. Oh, you sell real estate? I'm actually thinking about selling my house. Where are you guys already at? Their front porch. Where are they going to take you in? Their house. Now you got a listing appointment. Congratulations. So number 2, feed it daily. We are in the what business? Gary Keller says it. Boom. Thank you, Kayla. We are in the lead generation business. So what we need to be doing every single day is this top of the funnel. Prospecting and marketing every single day. And we are what? Prospecting based and marketing enhanced. If we're just marketing, we're sending things out to the world. I love the spaghetti marketing. We're just sending things out to the world, right? And I don't care if your prospecting is what Vince stands up here and says, and he wants to golf with 2 new people every single day. That's okay. But as long as you're adding people to the top of that funnel every single day, that's your number 1 job. So I don't care if it's golfing. I don't care if it's cold calling. I don't care if it's adding new friends on Facebook. But at some point every single day, you're adding people to the top of that funnel. Because if not, you're not growing at all. Make sense? Everybody tracking this is an 1.5-hour class I'm putting into 15 minutes. But thank you guys for all attending yesterday. And so everybody knows what this is. Lead generation model. So figure out what lever you're going to pull. 1, build your database. 2, figure out the lever you're going to pull. Prospecting based, marketing enhanced. That makes sense to everybody? Awesome. Number 3, communicate it with it systematically. Right? So what does that look like? Whether it's 4 calls a year, whether it's a 36 touch plan, whether it's a monthly reminder for them to change their filter, whether it's the DT do 2, the neighborhood nurture, what's going on around Charleston. I don't care how you communicate with them, but you communicate with them. And not as in, oh, I forgot to call Sarah. It's, I'm going to communicate it with it systematically. So every day it's reminding me to do X, Y, or Z, or it's working in the back end. Because if you just willy-nilly call through your database, guess what you're going to miss out on? Opportunity, because they're not hearing from you, because you're going to forget, because you're driving. I don't want to have that conversation with Joseph today. No offense. So number one is what? I love the participation. Kayla's not allowed to answer. Number one is what? What? Build a database. Number two is what? Communicate with it daily. Number three, easy cheat sheet. Thank you. Systematically. And then number four, service all leads. And I've shared this before at a previous team meeting, but in 2014, 4.6 million leads were sold. And 4.5 million homes were sold. In 2021, 6 million homes were sold and 200 leads were sold. Why is that happening? It's because people, we're all real estate agents. When somebody calls you and says, I'm ready to buy right now, you build a massive fence around that with barbed wire. You got ninjas and armed guards standing around those clients. But the second that they say they're 9 months out, a year out, once my kid graduates from high school, we forget about them. And what happens is they come in as a lead, you paid for it, you prospected for it, and they go into this later, 6 months out, right? But you're not communicating with it systematically. And what happens is that lead goes out and gets resold. And then it gets resold, and then it gets resold, and then it gets resold, and then somebody says, hey, I'm ready to buy now. And then they got a fence around her. We're all really, really good at this. None of us are bad at somebody that says, hey, I want to pay you 10 grand, and then you don't talk to them. But we are really bad as, hey, I want to pay you 10 grand in 6 months. Myself included, I'm talking to myself. But so that is our biggest opportunity in real estate. And the secret to success, it's simple. It's the economic model. How much do you want to make? The lead generation model. What are you going to do to do that? And the one thing, at what point of the day are you going to do it? And that's the secret of success. And well, go back 10 slides. It's simple, not easy. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that? Can everybody yell the 4 laws of lead generation? 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Very important.
And 4. Perfect. Awesome. What? No card exercise. Everybody's got a no card. All right. I want you to write down $110,000 on that note card. What does $110,000 mean? $110,000. $110,000 is the average income that our agents will make going to Bold. On average, we're putting 13 transactions under contract in Bold. On average. Well, Tammy is, because we have the Bold Coach of the Year. So 13 transactions, so $110,000. Number one is write down what you would do with an additional $110,000. We're going to sit on this for a little bit. And if you can't figure out what you would do with an additional $110,000, then you need to have signed up for Bold. No. You got some questions? Yes. The next question is, who does that impact? Who does an additional $110,000 impact in your life? Your kids, your family, your mom, your dad, your best friend. Who else does it impact besides yourself? And then the last question is look at those two, and then how does that make you feel? And write all that out. Question number 3, how does that make you feel? What, number 2 is who does it impact? So number 1, what would you do with it? Number 2, who does that impact? Number 3, how does that make you feel? Now we're gonna go around and share. Kidding. Kayla's in her car. She's done participating. All right, we'll give you a couple minutes and then Joseph will introduce Tammy.
All right, so we're gonna bring Tammy up. Do you need to make any adjustments? Okay. So Tammy's gonna talk to us a little about, as we've said, Tammy's our bowl coach. Sorry. She's our upcoming bowl coach. She's gonna be here next week teaching as well. I'm gonna give a short introduction only because Tammy and I have known each other for a very long time. She and I first met when I was a team leader back in 2009, I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
An amazing individual, amazing human being, and one of the most talented real estate agents as far as building a business that I've known, not just in the region, but in the country, which is why she's crushing it as a bowl coach. I will tell you, I've lost count of how many times that I've asked Tammy to sit down and review her commission script with me, how to review her database scripts with me and go through them because she just nails it and she does a very, very good job. Now, I'm not gonna say much more about it other than I'm a huge fan. She's gonna tell us more about herself when we bring her up here in a second, but you guys are in for a treat. She's gonna tell us a little about what's going on with Bold. Yeah, one thing I do want to share, well, I'm actually gonna share it afterwards. I got a very interesting stat I want to share after she goes, because I don't want to step on, I want to hear what she has to say first, and then we'll introduce that. So Tammy, are you here?
Goodness, I am. How is everybody today? Can you all hear me? Oh, actually, now you're muted, so I can't hear you.
We can hear you, so we will.
Oh, there you are.
Producer Holly here will be muting and unmuting me
Yeah.
to repeat any questions or do anything.
I got it. I got it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Golly, I feel like I have so much to live up to. So thank you so much, Joseph. I mean, I feel like we've known each other for like decades. And you took everything that I was going to talk about when you started talking about the house being on fire. I remember that slide. And you know, what's really cool, because there's a lot of cool things that are happening when a market makes the shift like we're in. And you know, it's when I look at two things, by the way, you all have the ability to control 2 things, and that is absolutely it in your life. And that is your mindset, how you think, and your actions, what you do. And when I think about that, you know, right now, oh my gosh, I mean, you know, when we hear the sky is falling, well, how does that make us feel? You know, how do we look at our business? Are we excited about it? Are we worried about it? Are we anxious? Or are we waking up in the morning going, wow, like I've been waiting for a market like this? And you see, guys, like, you know, markets are like seasons. And every time I think about, you know, a market going up or a market going down, it's like, you know what, we just walked into winter. And, you know, winter sometimes can be hard. Some people, like, you know what, they freeze, and other people, they go out and they learn how to snowboard. And what comes after winter? Well, it's spring. It's where everything grows. And so this market, if you look at it the right way and your mindset around it is that it is the land of opportunity, because that's exactly what it is, then you wake up and you say, you know what, I'm going to learn how to go snowboard. And it's all in the perception and how you look at it. I'm going to give you a mindset hack that I'd like you all to write down. Think about this. How many times right now do you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I just have to work longer hours. I just have to lead generate more. I just have to. How does it make you feel when you say, I have to do something? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. And I want you to all start it today, right now. You're going to change all your have tos to get to. What happens when you say, oh my gosh, you know what? I get to lead generate and create an amazing life. I get to have contribution calls and just get rid of all the confusion that consumers have right now. I get to get up and go do something that I love. There are a lot of people that wake up every single day and they literally have to go to a job they hate. We get to impact people's lives in such a huge way. So change that. Number two, look at the actions that you're taking right now. If the actions that you're taking right now are not building your business, well, then stop it. You're not a tree, right? You can leave, you can do something else. Pivot, do something different. I love that you guys have this robust training calendar. You absolutely have got to immerse yourselves in that market center and learn to do things differently. We just walked into a skills market, yay, by the way, right? We were in a speed market and you were all probably very tired. Guess what? Now you get to sharpen the saw and get really good. And while everybody else is behaving like a bear and hunkering down and waiting for this season to pass, you're going to be waking up and being buffalo and going, bam, like we're walking into this like a boss, right? And so, you know, when I think about this, Joseph, you mentioned something that was really, really incredible. And I want to make sure, I mean, he says a lot of incredible things. However, there was a couple of things in there that were pretty awesome, and I want to talk about them. One of them is we just came off of the second largest drop in the number of home sales in recorded history. Now, your mindset around that might be like, oh my gosh, like, here's the thing though. It doesn't mean that you can't have your best year in 2023 because we are walking into the third highest volume in sales in recorded history. What has to happen is you have to get your unfair share. You have to go out there and do the things that are going to bring in the business. By the way, the first time that we had the largest drop in sales history, everyone, Bold was born. Bold was born because 75% of our market centers were not profitable because the agents weren't profitable. After Bold came through one time, 90% of the market centers were profitable because you were all profitable. So if you're sitting there saying to yourself, you know what, been there, done that, I've done Bold. Oh, you know what, I don't have time for that. I don't have the money for that. Excuse after excuse after excuse. Be really mindful of what you say to yourself because you're listening. You're the most impactful person you'll ever listen to. And the choices that we make, quite frankly, determine your destiny. So where is your destiny? Is 2023 going to be your best year? Because I know that it can be. By the way, Joseph, I know that you remember that year. Oh my gosh, I would say it was probably July of 2008. And it was like somebody literally went like this and turned the faucet off on my business. And it just gave me chills, by the way, even just saying it. I remember it like it was yesterday. You right now have a crystal ball. You don't have to wait until somebody turns the faucet off. You have the opportunity to absolutely change that. Go out, learn how to be an influencer. Don't be influenced by the market, the media, and what everybody else is saying is happening. You get to do Bold. You don't have to. Not everyone will. You get to. And last thing I'll say, and then you guys unmute and ask me questions, is this. Guys, this market is not happening to you. It is literally happening for you. And how you rise up is really going to determine where your career goes. Last time the market dropped the way that we just did, 330,000 agents got out of the business. I just saw NAR post that 50,000 have already gotten out. Don't be one of those. Be one of the ones that stay and soar. And we're going to do it together. Right? We're going to do it together. So come off mute. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Tech stuff, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow, we do that in questions.
Is everybody there?
Who's going to go first for the question? So if we have no questions, that means that everybody.
No questions?
Hold on.
What's the limiting looking around it? Yeah. Go ahead, sorry. All right, can you hear us?
Barely. If somebody that's closer to the computer can repeat it, that would be great.
Go ahead.
The limiting belief is I don't have time for this.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know what? That is a limiting belief because here's the thing. Where else are you using that? Right? If we don't have time to invest in ourselves, then where do we ever grow? Right? So there's a difference between an expense. An expense is an expense, and we have those. And there's a difference on investment. An investment, you would expect an ROI, like return on investment. Guys, BOLD is, ROPI. It is return on personal investment. And I think when we tell ourselves that I don't have the time, we're basically saying I'm not going to make the time to become more effective and efficient. And I'm going to keep doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I'm either going to wear myself out expecting to get different results, or make it out of the business completely, unfortunately. You can't afford not to grow yourself right now. You've got to figure out how to make the time. And by the way, when we can't make the time to invest in ourselves and our growth and impact our families, oh my gosh, that's another reason we need to be in BOLD, by the way. Anybody disagree?
I think that's a great answer.
So I think
Awesome.
that it's something that I've been at KW for 7 years and I know what goal is, but I think people are either new to KW or new, they don't know what goal is and what to expect and what's expected of each of us. And I think that might take some of the fear out of it.
Great question,
Perfect.
Sarah. I appreciate you asking that because we've talked about BOLD today, but at no point have I explained BOLD.
Okay.
So elevator pitch.
All right. So elevator pitch, get there. No, just kidding. So BOLD is 7 days. It is, quite frankly, it is a mindset and a business transformation program. Gary describes it as the most disruptive real estate training in the entire industry. It's the only real estate course out there that not only teaches you what to do, it also teaches you how to think and transform the way you think. And here's why that's so important, everyone. Sometimes it's not a matter of not knowing what to do. It's really the mindset block that says, you know what, I know what to do and I don't like doing that, so I'm not going to. And so how do we transform our thinking so that we step into becoming that person who will do it? I mean, when you look at somebody who is excelling at something that you would like to excel at, and you look at what they're doing, and yet you either have fear or you lack the confidence to step into doing that, it's because we have to work on the mindset. So we work on the mindset so that you can step into doing things the right way, right? Quite frankly, and moving forward. We also dig into, I love that you guys are talking about the database. I'm also a co-coach of a program called Never Ending Referrals, and it's all about database mastery. And by the way, BOLD is a lot about building your database because Gary says it's the #1 thing you've got to master. So not only do we walk through the first 3 laws, the last one, which is servicing all the leads that come from it, I'm pretty sure you guys can handle that part. And so we really dig into at a really high level, those middle 2, and that is feeding it every day. Where are you finding the new contacts? Where are you finding quality contacts to add to your database? And then how do I systematically and consistently communicate with them while bringing value? So I don't feel like I have to call and say, who do you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that I can call today? Right? Either that or we reach out to people and we do this. Anybody? Please don't pick up the phone. Please don't pick up the phone. Please don't pick up the phone. Oh my gosh, I got their voicemail. Yay. Right? And so we're going to give you a whole bunch of different ways that you can communicate value because every single one of you are different in your personality, the things that you like to do, the things that you're good at doing. And so you don't have to all do the business the same way, right? I mean, it is a contact sport, and yet, I might like to knock on doors, and Ben, you might rather drop bricks on your feet than do that, right? And that's okay. We're just going to give you different options just consider Bold kind of your strategic option partner in helping you build the business. Here's the secret sauce around Bold as well, is that we actually, everybody becomes a team in Bold. We bring in some accountability. Accountability is the breakfast of champions. Doesn't mean that we all love it, right? And yet we know that if you were going to join a gym and you just joined it by yourself, you may or you may not get up in the morning and go. And yet if you join one of those workout classes with a friend and you're supposed to be there at 5 a.m. and you don't show up, what do? Hey man, where are you? Right? And so we know that the accountability piece really helps us become who we're meant to become. It really helps you step into your potential. So there's so many things that we do in those 7 days, and we meet once a week, right? It's from 9 to 2:30. There's a lunch in there. We've changed the hours. If you took Bold a long time ago, it used to be 8:30 to 3:30. We've not taken anything out, believe it or not. I just learned to talk faster. No, I'm just kidding with that too. We did that because of schools, right? We did it with children so that you can get the kids off to school in the morning and we get you out in time so that you can get them off the bus in the afternoon. So that's kind of the overview. I'll tell you, I've never walked into a room and said, I know exactly what's going to happen in here. The transformations that happen in this program are like nothing I have ever seen in my entire life. It's literally why 9 years later, I'm still doing it. Sometimes it's on the personal front. Sometimes it's in your business. Sometimes it's both. I've had people that, marriages were saved. I've had brand new agents. I think I was sharing, I don't know that it was with you, Ben. It might've been with one of the other offices that I'm doing Bold with. We had a new agent, was in Newark, Delaware with me. He had been licensed for 3 weeks. And at the end of Bold, he had done 42 transactions. Yes, I said 42. And just incredible. And his name was Lawrence. And I said, Lawrence, like, dude, like, what did you do? And he was just real shy. He said, I just did what you told me to do. And I was like, well, there you go. Right? How cool is that? And by the way, the average it's 11 transactions over the course of those 7 weeks. 8 of those are under contract. The other 3 are a combination of listings that you'll take or buyer agency agreements. Now, here's what I will tell you. I have never walked into a Bold room and said, welcome to the land of average. Every single one of you have average tattooed on your forehead. And so I don't ever walk in expecting us to hit the average. And I'm always between 13 to 16 transactions per person in that room. So, and that hasn't changed. Does that help as an overview? It's kind of long.
Great explanation, way better than I could have ever done. Any other questions or limiting beliefs before we let Tammy go? Oh, yep. What if you've already done it?
Well, unless you've mastered it, which is like 10,000 hours, and I've done over 150 Bolds and I haven't mastered it, I'd say, yeah, get back in there. Because have you ever heard the whole saying where no man ever steps into the same river twice, for it's not the same man, it's not the same river. Same thing goes for Bold. It's why people take it, 15, 20 times. And in fact, we have a lot of people in this company that have taken it more than 20 times. And it's not because they're slow learners. It's just because they haven't mastered it. And life is always different.
Look at like a John Crompton. He's taken it, I think, over 10 times.
Yeah.
Emil.
I'd like to know what Joseph was going to say at the end. Remember, he said, no, I'm going to wait until she's done. First of all, I didn't even introduce myself since he kind of did. So there you go.
You got another one?
She's excited because it's in person, not online. It's the first time offered since 2019, honestly.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, what an honor it is to be the one to bring that to you all. That's fantastic.
Thank you for that.
Anything?
That's, I think, everything. Let's give Tammy a round of applause. We'll see you next week.
I cannot wait to meet you all. Yes, I will see you next week for your business is your data bank. I know it says database, However, your business is your data bank. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna give you some actionables so you can really get things started. And it's just gonna help you catapult your results that we're gonna get together in bold. Right.
Thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
Before we let her go, well, we're letting her go. Joseph has ran some information that we're gonna pass along, and then we'll have Kayla come up here and go over the reimbursement program. Any other questions?
All right, so a couple things. One, and also before I get into this, I want to say the first steps of old you can go to for free, and you get it's not a sales step, it's an actual first step to gold. So there's a coaching part of it, and so you can go. I highly encourage you to sign up for the entire thing now, and at a minimum sign up for the first one, because then you get to experience like Tammy in person for the day. But we did run some numbers this morning again, which is pretty interesting. So out of the people that have signed up so far, we took out those that are new, right? And which was actually a very small amount that had signed up that were new. We have 34 that have signed up. Only 6 of them were considered new, meaning they had zero production either this year or last year, right? So then we took the producers that have already signed up. They've already said, hey, I'm going to commit to going to this. First of all, their volume runs from anywhere from $1 million to 25 million. Okay. Their average increase in their business last year was 35.3%. So these
Oh
are
my
people who are
gosh.
already doing well in their business, and they're saying, I want to continue to increase and not be caught in this market. So it's very much a mindset of those people in there. So highly recommend that you sign up. Kayla's going to go over the reimbursement policy. Before she does that, Sonia, by the way, is a Bold OG. One thing that we haven't talked about, she was one of the first people to go through Bold. Do you remember this? She was also one of the first people recognized for doing a Bold 100. It actually came up on my Facebook feed like not long ago. It was you and 3 other people, which means she contacted 100 people in a day. Not a requirement for those of you about to pass out, yet she decided to take that step and build her business in there. So it's been exciting you're here today. That's awesome for that. So here you go. You said you're going to Bold again?
I am, absolutely.
Hello, everyone. So you probably have a sheet that says the Bold reimbursement program. Tiffany sent it out about 900 times in email. So you should
Also
have it
in the
on you,
room.
and it's on there.
Yep, it's in the room too. So
It's on the tables and the chairs. So if you signed up for Bold already, you got like the early bird thing special that we got going on. If you sign up today, we're gonna put that in there for you, but you have to sign up today. You have to pay the $7.99 online today. Send me or Tiffany or finance at KW Charleston the confirmation email. We can also check it to see if when you've signed up. But if you want to do that, we can do that. But the Bold reimbursement program essentially is, first key point is you do not get paid out until you've graduated. After graduation is when we start doing the payouts. And if you don't graduate, then you have forfeited your chance to be reimbursed for your, and if you've missed a class, you can miss a class, but you have to have an excuse for it, and you have to talk to the instructor about it. And if it's an unexcused absence, every day that you've had an unexcused absence will be 1 transaction taken off your reimbursement policy. So it'll go from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3, depending on how many you miss.
We do have makeup class every Friday.
yeah,
I was gonna
they're
say,
gonna be
can
via
I
Zoom.
mention
They're
that?
not recorded. But those will be on Friday. So say you are out of town and you're gonna miss that Tuesday, you're able to watch it via Zoom. Maybe Tammy said like you're on the beach, you can plug it in and listen to it like you're on vacation. She has many people that plug in that way as well.
So normally it's 8 transactions you get paid in, but if you sign up today, we'll do it in 7 or 4 transactions. So we'll do in 4 transactions instead of 8 transactions, and that's pretty much the 800 divided by 4, and that's what you would get on each transaction. You would need to make sure you put that inside like your commission request. I'm gonna have a list pretty much of everybody that's graduated from Bold, so if you do miss it, it's not the end of the world. But if you want to put that in your commission request, like Bold reimbursement and the notes, if you need help with any of that, email me, I'll show you how to do all of that. And if you have been in the business less than 12 months, or those few that have had 0 in production in the last 12 months, we will reimburse those up in 4 transactions as well. Is that correct?
That's on there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So this is also my first Bold, guys. Learning too. So the transactions, if you're a new agent, it'll be in 4 transactions. So it would be the $7.99 divided by 4, and that's how you would get reimbursed for that. And if you're on a team, please note only one reimbursement per transaction, and they'll be split up between, it'll have whatever your split is with the team, it'll only be one reimbursement per transaction, no matter what situation is going on for you. So, and the teams will do the same thing, put it in the notes as well. If you have an outgoing referral on any of your transactions, those are not subject to being reimbursed. So just make sure you read all these, they're pretty clear cut, but read all of the bullet points and make sure you understand that the reimbursement and what you won't get reimbursed if something happens. Me and Tiffany are open on our emails every day. So if you want to email us at KW Charleston, finance at KW Charleston, we'll be more than happy to help you. So if anybody who wants to sign up, you? All right. Well, you got a pen? You go ahead, girl. You sign that. You want to sign up? Yes.
Everybody asks me, why did you do the past? When you have other stuff around your life and all that. And I said, because it'll keep my mind focused on something. And it truly does help the mindset. More life, business, whatever. I'm taking it again.
Wonderful. She can do it. Y'all can do it too.
Number one. So what I love, it's not even what I love about what Desiree says, for her, did she go right to the money side of it? No, think about like what she was going through when she went through it. So thank you for sharing that. That is awesome.
So that's pretty much the reimbursement. It happens after graduation. The contract has to be put under contract during bold, and 45 days after bold, the contract has to be written from April 4th to July 9th during that time. Yeah, so as long as it's written in those timeframes, then you'll be reimbursed when it closes. And, which I hope this never happens, if you do leave us, you will not be reimbursed. Please don't leave me. Thanks. That's it. Anybody got some questions? No?
All right, before she sits down, how did she do? I mean, come on. Scale on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being I love talking in front of people, what would you give it?
10.
Right. Thank you so much.
I only have one person signing up. I know not all of you were in it though. You signing up too? Raise your hand if you're signed up.
Love it. That's good. That's good.
Signed up? You signed up? You're signing up. Perfect.
It's balanced between, sorry.
So, Founders Hall, and then for 2 of the days, it'll be at Alhambra, over here in Mount Pleasant, that was at the awards at. So Founders Hall is in West Ashley at Charlestown Landing, really nice venue. And then Alhambra will be for 2 of those days. So, starts April 4th, skips a week in there, and then it starts up the 18th.
And your whole leadership team will be there for first step. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was told, so I was gonna be there, so I'll be there.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the last little bit. Today is the last day to receive all your material in advance. So if you've taken bowl before, typically it's 1 every time you show up, they give you the material for that day. Today is the last day to receive all material at once. So, and it advance as well. You get the swag bag, you get to dive into the notes. So you get swag bags. I have no idea. So, I appreciate everybody coming out. I hope there was a lot of value today. Are there any questions that we're left with before we wrap up? What's one thing that we're excited for the next month until we see each other again? Bold. Outside of bold.
I'm excited for training. Every Tuesday at 2, you get a whole class. Every Tuesday at 2, whole class. For Saturday, the job one on Tuesday. Ben, mention your call.
And so we're doing the daily call, 8:45 to 9. every single day. And what we're gonna talk about is just what you're seeing. What script do you need to work on? How's the market looking for you? Hey, I did this in an open house and I want to change it. Like, we're gonna discuss wins and failures and we can pass that on. And the only way that we get really, really good on these calls is if we have a lot of engagement. Right? If we only have 5 people show up, we're having the same conversation. But if we have 25 people, we really get to talk about it. My coach Laura's on at 60 agents show up every single day. It's a pretty valuable call, right? Right? So if we have 60 agents in our office sharing what's going on, I think you guys can get value every single day at 8:45 to 9 o'clock. That's a good way to start your day. Awesome. We have 5 gift cards. We're going to shift it a little bit so we can end with some positive energy. Love it. What are we excited for moving forward for this next month? Raise your hand. What's something outside of Katie? Awesome. Katie's excited for her agents to crush it outside of I have 4 more. Hands up. It's the basket team that went all the way. Everybody try their hands up.
Yeah. You know, it's been Charleston when we.
Damn. I'm finding print right now.
The best reason right here, I'm coming back in, I think coming along, I think it's not to finish what I started, but I came with the team. A little bit more than that, I just want to share, because I was so thankful for Mike has been in America. I mean, over 50 years ago, he brought me, he was the one that was the driving force behind me coming in real estate. And I was like, Lord, just give me the opportunity to do it right within this facility before we leave today. And, you know, I've got to say this because, you know, I was just moving and shaking with the Pipeline real estate. And I didn't want to leave from there, okay? But one day in prayer, I walked downstairs and I said to him, I said, would you like to be a big fish in a small bowl? Or would you like to be a small fish in a big bowl where you can grow? Everything shifted at that moment. And then I saw my mentor in the spirit, which was Jan Snook when I started in real estate. And I was glad to call her. And when I called her, she's like, let's have a talk. And she said, just come on in. Danny and I went in. But I'm gonna tell you something. When Danny came in, he was like, I don't know if I can do this because, you know, you're all over the place. But yesterday, my husband said, as he was working with the landscaper, talking to him, it wasn't going well. I was 14. But he walked inside and he said these words. He said there was somebody that no one could find from the town of Mount Pleasant that had some property that we wanted to look at because it was next to our property. He says, I'm going to find that lady. And the second number that he died, he found her. But she was deceased. She died December. And my husband took the conversation and he was talking to the daughter. And the daughter, meanwhile, was like, she's a doctor. And she's like, what are you doing here? What is this? And how much she was going on? And I said, wait a minute, ma'am. We're just trying to help you with your property. I said, we just want you to make your rents not to be ended. But when I started here, the message that came across, I'm going to read it to you all. I said, please, let me just share some information. And this was all to me. I received an email and this email said, good morning, Sonia Redfield. Thank you for informing me regarding the status of my mother's property on yesterday. As a realtor, how can you help our bank secure a favorable
regarding the portion of the land that the county is looking at for eminent domain. Help us sell the entire property at the market value this property commands. I look forward to your future conversation regarding this matter. And I want you to know that I looked you up and you be the best for the rest. And I said, wow, best regards. And she gave her name. She said, Dr. Lisa. I remember taking the monkey and getting it off your back. I'm taking my seat, but I think Dr. Lisa and her testimony, I think each of one of you, and I pray exponential, supernatural blessings over everyone in your business, that everything that you do, we will take Keller Williams, my God, to the next dimension. I'm
I love the energy that we're ending with. I only have one more gift card, so I'll always you guys gift cards next time. I apologize. When you cycle, we can't get it. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how to go after that, but I am super excited for my quarter two home buyer seminar that I have coming. It's going to be super. Blood drive coming out, I love it. Anyway, blood drive. And I'm also just excited about trying to change these awesome. And your team too. Kristen.
Forms, if you
Yeah,
want
bring
to
those forms up
to Kayla.
To Kayla.
Yep.
Awesome, thank you. And there's a lot of leftover food.
Lot of leftover. All right.